what happens when you see you can't just play with people's feelings. Tell them you love them, man, don't mean it. You'll probably say that it was juvenile, but I think that I deserve to smile. I bust the windows out your car. You know I did it 'cause I left my mark. Wrote my initials with the crowbar, and then I drove up into the dark. I bust the windows out your car. You should feel lucky that that's all I did. After 5 whole years of this bullshit, gave you all of me and you played with it. Ooh, I must admit it helped a little bit to think of how you feel when you saw it. I didn't know that I had that much strength, but I'm glad to see what happens when you see you can't just play with people's feelings. Tell them you love them and don't mean it. You'll probably say that it was juvenile, but I think that I deserve to smile. Making him not cry, but it don't come back to my broken heart. You can never feel how I felt that day. Until it happens, baby, you don't know pain. Oh, yeah, I did. You should know it. I'm sorry. You deserved it. After what you did to me, you deserved it. I'm sorry. No, no. Broke my heart, so I broke your car. You caused me pain, so I did the same. You don't know what you did to me was much worse. I had to do something to make you. Are you a man who loves and cherishes and cares for me? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Are you a guard in a prison, maximum security? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Do we stay home all the time 'cause you want me to yourself? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Or am I locked away out of fear that I find someone else? Is that you? Is that you? Yeah. Well, I don't like living under your spotlight just because you think I might find somebody worthy. Oh, I don't like living under your spotlight. Maybe if you treat me right, you won't have to. Is this a relationship fulfilling your needs? Well, it's mine. Is that you? Is that you? Or is this just my sentence? Am I doing time? Oh, if this is love, real love, then I'm staying no doubt. But if I'm just love's prisoner, then
Check this out.
You're tuned in.
What?
To the full 180.
It's official.
1, 2,
it's
3.
official.
We're here for a particular reason.
Time to put kids to bed.
And that reason is...
It's time for the full 180.
It's a thin line between love and hate. It's a thin line between love and hate. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm just getting in. I knock on the door. A voice, sweet and low, says, "Who is it?" She opened up the door and let me in. Never once do she say, "Where have you been?" She says, "You hungry? Are you hungry, honey? Did you eat yet? Let me hang up your coat." The woman tells me, "Pass me your hat." All the time she's smiling, never raises a voice. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I don't give it a second thought. It's the thin line between love and hate. Don't think you can keep breaking your woman's heart. It's a thin line between love and hate. And she'll sit back and enjoy it. It's a thin line. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Between love and hate. She gon' fool you one day. The sweetest woman in the world could be the meanest woman in the world. If you make it that way, you keep her. She keep being quiet. She might be holding something inside that'll really, really hurt you one day. Here I am laying in my hospital, bandaged from feet to head, in a state of shock, just that much from being dead. Didn't think a woman would do something like this to me. Didn't think my girl had the nerve. Here I am. I guess action speaks louder than words. It's a thin line
ice. The butter pea, honey, got the sugar, got the spice. Roll the L tight, keep the rhymes right. Yo, I just made this motherfucker up last night. And I'm the rookie on this all-star team. Me and Kim is getting cream, like Thelma and Louise, but on chrome. Never leave that brother shit alone. So if you say it's on, then it's on.
Bang this in your hips, that cold roadie with the chips in the wrist. Here's a French kiss. I dismiss all you chicks. Spit sick from the fourth, fifth, make it dance. Ow! I stay focused in the dopest, like a penny with a hole in it. Y'all just hopeless and topless. I ain't lying, trying to knock me off. Keep trying. All it takes is one phone call to my street team. Promote that ass like a soundtrack. You jack, sit there, send it off. That 850. Y'all missing a buck with the bump Biggie in the truck, in the buck to my double. Let me see you do the bank head if you're riches. It's the rap made west, the QB. And I got all my sisters with me.
And I'll rise this time. Oh, this is ladies' night. Oh, what, ladies' night. And the feeling's right. Oh, this is ladies' night.
Never the one packing a gun. Some other raw chicks for that. Lay your pants fat. I be's the one choking your paragraph. We laugh, get you back up on the right path. Ain't no stopping ladies from club hopping. Gets my rock on. From flavors to frozen that paradise joint. Booty shaking with the glass in my left one. Right hand saying stepson. To me, my girls fancy fly misses. Too many great snitches. And to the mother chicos. Lady pimp ain't taking that trip. If you ain't got the cash to stash, catch a brick hole. Strictly your bell ringer. Lay another finger on the big bad wolf, lady rap singer. I be the one to blame as the flames keep rising to the top. And it don't stop.
Misters try not to notice the dope sisters approaching with good intentions, but focusing on their riches. If it's too hot, then get that ass about the kitchen. Listen carefully. I don't give a damn if you don't care for me. The rhythm I keep puzzling like a rhythm I take. Filling them with others off the 9 millimeter clip. Let us bust, we dust, keep kicking up dust, and you can spread rumors. This is making me sick of the head tumors. Humor me by hugging me, saying you loving me. Envy, player haters be bucket. I compare to the thug and they wanna do illegal things, but these need to give me more with these VDs and them freeze BTs from overseas. Pimp like that rollies up from the police. Keep my wallet obese. Who the Windy City woman still coming and gunning straight from the shop. Tonight's the night for the ladies, we keeping it tight.
Check, 1 2 1 2. More music, more radio. You heard the theme song. You know what it is tonight. It's ladies' night. Yep. We're getting to the mind of the woman. Shout out to my brothers, Sean Drizzle, Mr. Dotson, a.k.a. Captain Hicks, and Mr. Irrational Man, along with all the guests who sat in with us on Monday as we got into the mind of a man, man. I appreciate them being very transparent and honest and open and letting you know. I hope it started a conversation of where you are or with your spouse, significant other, or in your home. It does not even matter. This is what we do. This is why we do it. Without any further ado, I am DJ TRKKY, a.k.a. The Bomb Radio, right here on Mo Music, More Radio. Before me was none other than the Mike Music Show. Catch them from 6 to 8 right here on Mondays and Fridays with K-Flow. They'll be here Friday night, man. Look, we getting ready. We're 3 days away. I know you've been waiting for it. Look, the Ugly Sweat Party going down right here at the radio station, man. We have all the things that you need to celebrate Christmas. I know we're in a pandemic. I know we not be able to do some of the traveling that we want to do, but we want to celebrate with you. We want you to network with us. If you got a business, hey, you could be a vendor here. It's just a $50 fee. That's it. It's simple as that. Look, when you come to the Sweater Party, all we ask you is a $5 donation if you have it, or $2 or 2 canned goods. Everything goes to a charity, man. We want to do our part in helping those in need. Since we're being blessed, we've always taught to be a blessing to someone else. On the ones and twos, none other than my big brother. You know him as DJ Legend. Appreciate, man, getting started with the latest night. And you know I cannot do it without my ladies. Here they go. That's what happens when you do double duty. From my left, you know it ain't nothing but L Boogie, a.k.a. I ain't gonna be able to answer that. Right in front of me is none other than Miss KC is still. One time for Kansas City, Yetta, Baltimore, California. I mean, she's an overnight celebrity already. Man. But y'all know we call it KC is still the angelic one. But remember what I told you. The devil was an angel too. Don't push the button. Boom. To my right is none other than Dr. B. We call her our Miss Know-It-All. She's going to break it down for you analytically, numbers, percentage-wise. But I ask you, do not press her button because she will get gangster. She's cocked and loaded. What's up, ladies?
Hello. What's going on?
Man, what is going
Hell of
on?
an introduction.
Look. You know, we got to do this the right way. We going to do it. So, you know, we wanted to do this show, get into the mind of a man. Now we want to get into the mind of a woman. You know, we want you women, even you out there listening, educate us on some things that we thought we thought you like or you don't like, or what's important to you, what ain't important to you, what you're not gonna deal with. I hear my mother now. Ain't a word. I apologize. So we gonna dig into it. So let me start here. Let's know. I like to do background first. What character traits would you say stamps a woman?
Nurturing. I think we're very analytical. We try to run a lot of things in our minds at one time, try and make the best decisions at the time, and then also trying to think ahead.
So you do a lot of juggling, like in your head, or just juggling work, school, kids?
Yeah, we're multitaskers.
It's
for sure.
multitasking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can cook, do the laundry, whoop kids, all at one time.
I always say my mom is an octopus. We have so many
Absolutely.
arms. Like we can carry groceries, the baby, open the door, grab somebody by their ear,
Indeed, all at one time.
all at one time,
And hit the alarm.
and hit the alarm. Yes. Like we just do everything, and I feel like as a man, their main goal is to get all the kids out the car, in the house. Then they go back and get the groceries.
Yeah.
Then they come in the house.
We're not trying to take on trips.
Listen,
We ain't gonna take out a trip.
one trip.
One
I
trip.
will put 10 bags on one arm.
One arm,
just to
a
make
baby
sure
on
I
the
don't
back.
fall.
I mean, because we don't got time to do all that. We got to move on to the next thing.
Oh, so let me ask you this. I'm playing devil's advocate all night. I've already seen it. So am I your butler now? I'm carrying stuff?
No, we're
We
talking
can't make
about
the
like
trips together?
no, we're talking about just say for instance you at home today with the kids. You know, you go to the grocery store.
Okay.
When you pull up to the house, we're not even gonna talk about the scenario at the grocery store because it's jacked up all the way. You get home, you gotta take the kids out the car, take them in, come back get the groceries, go back in the house. By that time, we already got everybody in the house, groceries they put up, kids going to go do something. Because they got instructions halfway before we got to the house on what
Everybody
food
carrying
you
the
got.
bag.
Right, everybody get a bag. So
Everybody got a bag.
So what Lisa is saying in a nutshell, that we're better multitaskers than some men.
Oh, better.
There you go,
That word.
Angelica Wood.
Okay. So now you better multitask. But why are you trying to multitask everything? You got a man.
But y'all not
Why don't you take off some of them hats and let me wear them? But see, the problem is if you give me the hat, you can't control how I run the hat.
Indeed.
True.
Yeah, okay, say indeed. But then you
Absolutely,
be
I
like,
can't control
you
it.
move that to the left, it really go in that corner. But I moved it. Didn't matter how I moved it, but you asked me to move it.
Okay, so I need you to be picky that way. Like if I say make up the bed, in my head I'm saying make up the bed how I make up the bed. But it don't quite work that way. However, I've gotten to the point now where I say make up the bed. You make up the bed, I can't complain because I didn't give you no specifics.
But
I
why
just
do
said
we
make
have
up
to
the
give
bed.
specifics?
Daryl
I
and I
mean,
argue over making up the bed. Even we making
Look,
it together.
if
Because
they-
he puts the pillows the wrong way. And so he and I argue about that. And so now he deliberately makes the bed up the way he wants to. So instead of us arguing now, I just walk by and be like, okay,
I
so he
know.
didn't flip the pillows the way I wanted to.
Oh, now you compromise. Now it's okay.
Because I got tired of arguing.
I mean,
Cause
we
they
talking
keep Facebook,
about,
cause I don't half the time.
but when it comes to like their cars or their little man cave and all that, I mean, if they take as much care to do that, why wouldn't they take the same type of care to make up the bed or
Well,
whatever?
I think that they are. I think it's just that you have a certain way, like Tiffany said, it's a certain way we want it done. And if they're not doing it that way, then it's like you're not doing it right. But in their mind, they're making the bed up.
And see, I think I had that mentality. I'm like, throw that thing over there, spread it out, put them pillows together, and let's move on to the next thing. That's not that important to me. I mean, I like things neat. I feel like if I walk into a clean room, I have a clean head. But I'm not really picky about how things are tucked and folded and placed. And
I am. I keep house very meticulously.
See why I say be specific. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want from me. Oh, I'm sorry, I got it. Okay. All right. So, okay, that's okay. So we gave you a little platform, warmed out up a little bit. So let's go and get into this meat I got. Why is it as women, y'all seem to treat y'all sons like they are your man, but instead of treating your husband or your man like he's your man?
Oh, I don't do that, so I can't.
Well, I'm guilty because I did it first. I'm gonna be honest. I am. I'm gonna be honest because I was raised by strength and only women, not too many men in my family. So I saw what a mother was like, but I barely saw what a wife was like. So if I had to choose, I was gonna choose my children over my dude. And I made the mistake. Ladies, don't do what I did. However, it's what I did. And it had gotten to the point where I was coddling my son. And then once I saw I was doing it, I had to back off. So now he does him. Now, of course, we're our mothers, so will we all want to just grab our kids and hold them no matter what age they are? Yes, but I had to. My prayer was, Lord, I want my son to eventually be a man. So I had to back off and allow that, and that's what is happening. But yes, I was definitely guilty of it.
And so mine was different. So I saw a mother and a wife. And so I sort of knew how to divide the two. But I do think I put my boys up on a pedestal. And I do run to them when I can't get what I want.
And see, well, my son, my son's 14, but I think when I sent him to live with his dad when he was in 4th grade, he was going through so many emotional things. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Take this boy, fix him. You know what I mean? And so when he came back, he was a different child. But I knew that he, and in the 4th grade, had to learn how to cook on his own. Because dad was busy, you know, and so he had to do a lot of things. So when he came back, I started, you know, just kind of cultivating the things that he likes. Every time there's sports he wants to play, I was there. He get hurt, I'm one of those moms. I'm like, oh, I want to run out there, but he hurt at the end of the game. Get up, you know. Trying not to be that hovering mom over my son because I want him to be independent.
Listen.
I was trying to go to Indianapolis. EJ got kicked in the chin.
Lord.
And I had to remind myself, here's a grown man out there.
So, go ahead, bro.
So, what is a good age for your son to go live with his father if the father's in the life?
When his father is, in my opinion, if his father had been more active younger, then I would have done it younger. Because he ended up coming right back, and it was faster than I expected him to come back. His dad needed him to come back. But now that he's 14, y'all, neither one of y'all have a choice at this point.
I stay around that middle school age, 11, 12. I think they're transitioning, their minds are transitioning. Like my son, first, Lord, I hope he ain't watching me if your son love you. But he got to middle school, and the girls in middle school versus girls in elementary school a little bit more developed. So he was saying to my ex-husband, Dad, check her out. You know, so I stay around that middle school age. they definitely need a strong male figure in the home. Whether they're in the home with them or not, they need a strong male figure. But if they're, so then you have some people that have a step parent as a stepfather and a father. So my son went to go live with his dad because there were things only I felt like his dad felt like he was able to do because he was from his loins. So it made sense. So we definitely allowed it to happen, but I said middle school.
I say 5 because they go. That's just me in the child development world. They're starting to figure out their likes and dislikes, respect levels, body parts, all emotions, all kinds of things, and they start to act out around 5 and 6. And I think they need a strong head on the back of their neck to say, "Hey, get yourself together." And I always use the analogy, I stand up to pee. I sit down to pee, I don't stand up to pee. So he needs to be somewhere that he can mimic a strong man, and that's the early age. They're sponges. So you're trying to teach a 14-year-old some habits or some things, and they've already developed who they are by then. I'm not saying wrong.
Oh, wow, absolutely.
But at that age, they are mimicking everything that they see. So when you start talking about these young men that has been raised by women, that's where you get that softness from, or you get that timidness from. It's not to say that that's who they're going to be, but we're emotional creatures. So us telling them to shut up and don't do that crying because boys don't cry, and then we'll go over there and hug them, defeated the whole statement, to whereas if a guy said it, it's like, okay, daddy ain't crying, daddy not doing this, or dad cried when he's hurt, or blah, blah, blah.
And
so I think it's at 5.
When the father is not able to be there doing that, I think it's very important to make sure that you keep them active in sports.
Yes.
My son was always year round.
So they can see men.
So he had that male influence. I remember the first and only season he played football. The first time he got knocked down, he was done. I was like, no, at this point, you committed. You got to finish the season. By the time he finished that season, he was knocking folks down. But he said, that ain't for me.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just very important to make sure you have those male influences around.
Positive men, male influences.
Because you said 5, and I kind of had a snapback reaction like,
yeah,
they're
not babies anymore.
Girl,
oh Lord,
I would.
Well,
But I'm just saying, I would have reacted.
I'm just saying, being in early childhood,
I understand what you're saying for sure.
I see that, and that is like the sponge. That's the sponge time. That's when they start noticing, hey, I got a penis. Why you ain't got one?
Jack.
What's these moments?
Okay, kids raising, I know y'all raising mothers. So there's a theme that's going on. We see it a lot in our culture that I want to bring to the table as well. Let's discuss these mothers raising kids by themselves. So there's a couple things I want to get into. One, I want to know what challenges in your perspective do women face with raising kids by themselves. And I'm not saying as far as there's no daddy in their home. I want to get to some other specifics that you may deal with that other people may be dealing with now.
Well, let me say this. I never had to raise my kids by myself, but raising your children by yourself does not just mean don't have someone living in your household, because you can have a father in the household that does not help you raise your children. So let's be clear that just because someone's living in the household does not mean they're helping you raise your kid or your kids. I've seen it too much. I never experienced not having a father raising my kids alone. I couldn't imagine it because I've had friends that have done it, and I've seen the challenges that they face financially, emotionally, especially when you start getting up at 14 years old and you got this kid that's picking up these bad habits, boys, and you don't know what to do, So I don't know what that's like. I sympathize with all my friends. I couldn't imagine raising my 2 boys by myself, especially that youngest one. Because he was Como. He's straight from Como.
Well, shout out to the Como.
Shout out to Como people. No pun intended.
Dr. B?
I just think it's very important just to teach children how to think. Just know that every choice that you make comes with a consequence, whether it's positive or negative. And so my approach to raising my children was to, even at 5 and 6, okay, well, why did you do that? What could you have done better? So what will you do next time? You know, those questions at 5 and 6. I never really did baby talk with my children. I've always spoke to them as if they understood, so that now we have conversations about politics, and you know, they'll see something on social media and they'll come and talk to me about it. But I do, you know, really teach them just like how to think. I'm one of those people that strongly believes in living your truth. And no matter, you know, I give them those foundational things, but they still have to be who they are. They're only going to be kids for 18 years. They're going to be adults a lot longer than that. So they have to know, I learned that I can't coddle them and shelter them from a lot of things, that they kind of just have to be exposed so that they can learn how to deal with the world.
It's definite ups and downs as a single parent, period, mother or father, raising children. Now, majority of my children's life, I didn't raise them alone. I had them by myself when they were a lot younger, so I had the authority more so than anything now. If I say sit down, you sat down. If I say go to bed, you went to bed. Now, they was probably jumping up and acting crazy, but I made them shut the bed so I could think they were asleep. However, it was as rewarding as it was challenging as well, because how do you raise a son by yourself when you think, what can I teach him? And there's plenty of things that I taught my son. I dated my son, so he's very mannerable. He opens up doors. He does all of that. But it was definitely challenging when I had him by myself. So it's a lot of things, a lot of words that you could use as a single mother. We couldn't cover that in one night.
So do you think there is some resentment with women who are raising kids by themselves? Like, is there a sense of resentment?
I think some women resent it. I think they feel like they didn't make these children by themselves, so they shouldn't have to take care of them by themselves. But you have to get your head conditioned. If he's going to do it, he's going to do it. If he's not, he's not. They're still your children.
And they
you got to make it happen.
Grow up.
And you just make it happen regardless of what is going on. They're your babies. Keep it moving. If he's going to be there, he's not.
The selfish part of me is just like, well, they grown now. I did that. You know what I mean? Everything that they know and everything they learn, I did it. But getting aside of myself, like you said, I think it's just being able to know that the foundation is there. Like, you did everything that you could do with what you were given, what you had, make the best of everything. You know, I'm at peace with that. Sure. Do I have resentment towards their father? Not. I did at some point, but now I don't, because I was too worried about living my own life and raising these children. I do feel like that now. Some of my dreams and goals that I'm doing now, I wish I could have done earlier in life, but that still came down to somewhat of a choice. Not pursuing certain things because I wanted to make sure that I was available for my children. Sometimes I made my children an excuse not to pursue some things that I wanted to do. You know, so, and then some of that I did blame their father, but I chose to leave. So whatever came out of that was out of my choice.
So do you think it caused some collateral damage between your father and your kids because you just chose to leave?
Absolutely. I feel like the kids did suffer, but then I think about how much would they have suffered had I stayed in a hostile environment, in a hateful environment.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I felt like, yes, I know they wish their dad was around. Like my youngest daughter, I'm concerned about her because I left when she was 4 months old. And so she's never really had her dad around pretty much her entire life. And I don't really know how that is going to affect her later on. You know, so.
So, Casey, let me ask you this. Do you think, as women, men spend too much time telling you who we are instead of showing you who we are?
Indeed.
Why?
I think some men do that. I think it's a collaboration of things. I think some men would rather put the work in words instead of the work in time. Like, I'm the type of woman, you don't have to gift me to death. That don't mean nothing to me.
Nothing.
But there's no emotions in the gifting either.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, if I need you to hold my hand and tell me you love me, don't gonna buy me no $200 pair of shoes, because them ain't gonna matter to me.
No.
Thank you. They cute, but you not holding my hand is what I really need.
But did you communicate that? I can't do it if you communicate it to me.
But should you totally have to? I mean, because you're learning me.
Depending on the brother.
So if
what you just said, learning.
If you're learning me and I'm emulating what I want to you, and I'm holding your hand and I'm touching you, shouldn't you know that's what I want back? Or should I sit down and explain and tell you?
But I'm not a
this is
mind
what
reader.
I want. Well, I'm asking that. I'm just asking. Is that what is expected? Because for me, I don't like gifts. I'm not a gift chick. First of all, go buy something for the house that we can all use. Because at the end of the day, that perfume that you spend $100 on gonna be gone. The $200 tennis shoes, which I do not understand, but hey, everybody got their own thing.
But you want the red bottoms,
I don't. But you need to know that that's not what I want.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
And not getting your feelings when you don't get the reaction that you expect.
Right. Like set up a candlelight dinner for me, or let's go stroll for the park, or let's say, hey, I saw you looking at that. Let me tell you one thing. I love thoughtful gifts. Absolutely. If you're gonna buy me a gift, buy me a thoughtful. A thoughtful gift is, I like the journal. Buy me journals. Buy me water bottles, because I love water bottles. Buy me a blanket, because I cozy up to a blanket in a minute. Like, those are the things. Like, don't go buy me something that I can buy for myself.
And that was a conversation that I was just having the other day, and I was saying, for me, a Hallmark card is just as thoughtful as a.
Because you know how much time it took you to go in there and read that and then write something in it, versus going to get a purse that I can purchase a purse with our money.
Yeah, but nobody, because
our money.
But nobody goes to the greeting card section, pick up a card and walk away.
Walk away, no.
You're going to read every word, and it's going to depict your exact feelings for the person you're buying it for. So when I receive that card, whether you hand it to me, whether you give it to me in the mail, it melts Tiffany.
Turns me up. Clean my car. Let me tell you. You clean my car, you gonna get it. Like, cleaning the car is like...
Clean your car?
Let me tell you why. Yes. And let me tell you why. Because I spend a lot of time in my car. And I'm that one that will get out the car and leave stuff in there. Now, this is the thing. My car is clean. But if you get up, take my car, get my car clean, and I get in my car and it's clean, I'm coming back in there. We're gonna handle some business. I'm gonna be late wherever I'm going. I don't know what it is about cleaning the car.
Lord have mercy.
It's the simple things is basically what I'm saying. It's the simple things. Like, if I show you a picture of paint that I want to paint the house, or if I'm a plant that I want, that's going to better us. See, I'm that selfish person. Whatever's going to better us, I'm for it. But all going out buying all these expensive gifts and, did you tell such I got you this? Don't do that. I don't like that either.
Well, look, man, we're going to take a little pause for the cause. Let DJ Legend get into it. We're talking about the mind of a woman. Look, we'll take a slight break. On the other side of this break, I got a question. We're going to find out, what are these women's insecurities? Because I need to know. Right here on More Music, More Radio. Let's go see Murder.
the 90s with the black girls where you fun in the 90s with the black girl where you in the 90s with the black girls where you fun in the 90s with the black girls where you fun in the 90s with the black girls where you fun in the 90s with the black girls where you fun in the 90s with the black girls where you fun in the 90s with the black girls where you fun in the 90s with the black girls where you
my mama was raising me. Never could understand the saying, stand behind your man. I'd rather be by his side, sharing the load, so he can see things from my point of view and reach my goals. I'm a 90s girl, willing and able, that I'm able, and down to go for what I know, what I know. I'm going for the best. To get what I want, is it because you fear an equilibrium? Just because I wear some sexy clothes don't mean take advantage and assume I will go. Oh, yeah, man, be a man in this. Okay, and sit back and let this happen to you now. I won't let this happen to you. When I'm feeling lonely, when it's all over, please get up and leave. Question, tell me how you feel about this. Try to control me, boy, you get dismissed. Pay my own condo and I pay my own bills. Always 50-50 in relationships. The shoes on my feet, I bought. The clothes I'm wearing, I bought. The rock I'm rocking, I bought. 'Cause I depend on me. If I wanted the watch I'm wearing, I bought. The house I live in, I bought. The car I'm driving, down like that. Girl, I didn't know you could get down like that. Charlie, how your angels get down like that. Tell me how you feel about this. Do what I want, live how I wanna live. I work hard and sacrifice to get what I get. Ladies, it ain't easy being independent. Question, how'd you like this knowledge that I brought? Bragging on the cash that he gave you is the front. If you're gonna brag, make sure it's your money you front. Depend on no one else to give you what you want. The shoes on my feet, I bought it. Clothes I'm wearing, I bought it. The rock I'm riding, I bought it. 'Cause I depend on me. If I wanted the watch I'm wearing, I bought it. The house I live in, I bought it. The car I'm driving, I bought it. I depend on me. I depend on me. Hey, hey, hey. All the honeys making money. Throw your hands up, baby, baby. Throw your hands
up on the dance floor. Independent, get up on the dance floor. Independent, get up on the dance floor.
Throw it back, get them, watch it expand on you.
Independent, get up on the dance floor. Independent, get up on the dance floor. Independent, get up on the dance floor.
Throw it back, get them, watch it expand on you.
Independent, get up on the dance floor. Make them throw that money, blow that money, hands up. Yeah, that chick make them spend $1,000 on it. Boy, you say you bout and pop a rubber band down it. Chicken heads, hey, all the fellas love me. Step out on the dance floor, I'm about to hit my dougie. Rolling eyes, the fella tryna hug me. Yeah, you
45 minutes past the hour, man. That's 9 o'clock, 45 minutes. My man DJ Legends in the building. I am DJ Tricky Bomb Radio. We getting you ready for this weekend. What? You might ask? I'm glad you asked. The Ugly Sweater Party. From 9 to 1 right here at the Mo Music Studio. Me, DJ Legends on 1s and 2s. Of course, the full cast of 180 be in the building. As long as the CEO, Mr. Malik, YBE, Mr. Antoine White will be in the building. And if you want to be a vendor, you can to be a part of it. It's just a $50 fee. You bring your products. You can sell your products here. The link is on our page. I'll make sure we put it on there, or me. And you too can have time to still register if you like. If you want to come out and join us, you can. We'll be right here, 211 North Irving. That's Friday, this Friday from 9 to 1. Hey, it's going to be hot, man. Real festive time. We want you to be a part of it. Look, we're going to get back to the conversation. We don't need me talking no more. So, joining us is none other than the young lady, Speak Nicole, is in the building hanging out with us. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Good evening. I'm well.
I'm good. Okay. Look, now I feel comfortable. I have a collection. A whole bunch. I got some Skittles to choose from now. Nah.
I'm the real.
Well, so we're going to get right back into it. We're talking about the mind of a woman. So, you know, it's this thing we always say. But let's start here. What is it with this independence? The one time I don't need no man. Where all that come from?
Because I need one, so that ain't who needs.
But where is it coming from? I mean, we know it's the B2 movement is moving, of course, thanks to Oprah.
It was before the Me Too movement.
Well, come on, let me know then.
That enhanced it. That made women a little bit more cocky to me. However, it was always there. Like, you have some women that feel like they're put in position by men to run a home. You know, what happened if the man drops the ball?
Right.
That woman, if she got kids, is going to pick the ball up and keep it rolling. So you have a lot of women out there that think, I don't need no man. Now, I'm like, Lisa, I need one, America.
I need one. I want one. Desire one. Have one. I don't understand what they're talking about.
Let's be all the way clear.
I need. That I don't need one to. Okay, let's be clear. I don't need one to survive. I gotta have God for that.
Okay.
Now, if it comes to it, I don't have one at the moment. I gotta go to work. I mean, I can take care of myself, but I need you to add to me. So whoever my soulmate is. That's what you're doing. You're adding to me, not taking from me. So if you're not pouring into me, then no, I don't need you.
And I think the word need, it gets misconstrued quite a bit. We had a discussion already about this. And some women say they don't need a man, but what they're saying is they're not needy. They're saying, I don't need you to always rescue me. That's always like if I'm venting. I already have the problem solved. I just need you to hear me. I don't need you to fix it. When I come to you, I'm venting.
I don't want to hear you. I told you so, or you went wrong. Sometimes we already come to the conclusion that we made a mistake, or we could have handled it in a different way. We just want to bounce it off that person, doing pillow talk. We always go back to our stuff at 1:30 in the morning. And I just want you, all I want to hear is say, baby, you know what? Next time, you know what you need to do different. Or even say that, hold my hand, let me cry. You know, I'm going through a situation right now with my health. I just want somebody to listen. I don't need you to tell me what I need to do. I know that.
But we need y'all to listen too. And sometimes y'all have a hard problem doing it.
I do have a hard time doing it.
Why?
And I'll tell you why.
My expectations
I'm
is
resolution.
That's right.
So in my head, and I will admit to a man, if he come to me and say X, Y, and Z, if anybody knows me, I'm going straight to Google. I'm going straight somewhere because in my head I'm trying to get problem solved. But it has turned me into an ineffective listener. So I have to say, Tiffany, he might be like you. He may not need you to solve it. He just may need you to listen.
Because sometimes, like you say, we just need a help meet. Huh? Dr. B, can we just have a help meet? Instead of somebody trying to run us, like we done made our mama all over these.
Hold on. Define run. Because I didn't hear that.
What's that?
Define run. I said it.
Define run. Well, you know, as a little bitty boy, your mama used to run you. When she say jump, your question was how high. You had to follow those rules. I've grown up, and now I am a man.
But see,
now, you can't handle me like my mama.
But do you think that's what we're doing, or are we just trying to fix it?
Well, let's start now. Some of y'all do because y'all mouth is real fly.
Sometimes.
I
said it.
Not all the time. My mouth's on fly.
No, not all the time.
I feel like
we can get them ruly.
I feel like we are sometimes held at this pedestal. So why y'all get mad when we trying to stay up there? Like, I just told in my personal situation. Okay, like even my mom talked about this. Men have been conditioned for some reason to, okay, I work, I bring home the money. Mm-hmm. But that's not enough. So if you just bring home the money and we're having to worry about the kids, worry about the house, and most of us are working and doing all this and that.
And being a wife.
Yeah, we
so
take care of
still trying to be still trying to be your individual self at the same time,
which gets lost.
It does. It definitely does. And like in my situation, I'm a single mama too now, and I went through the whole domestic state. So when you're in a situation where you're constantly playing tug of war with somebody, eventually you're gonna fall back and say, "Hey, I'm gonna let you do you." And I'm going to step back until you're able to clear your thoughts and I'm able to clear my thoughts. And then if you want to listen to me, that's fine. If not, that's cool. But I'm the type of person, I have to sit back and observe. I have to sit back and evaluate everything that's happening in order for me to, take the right step and go forward. And a lot of times, again, in my situation, he handled his mom instead of the other way around. Mm-hmm. So when you're raised like that, it tends to pour into your relationship or what your situationship, and it goes left, and then you skip over the whole process of actually listening to the person instead of just hearing them. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important to actually listen to someone and not just hear them, because they can go through one ear and out the other.
And do men even really want help? Like, do you want the help that we are giving because you're feeling as if we're being that mother figure? Mm-hmm. Because that's first of all, let's just say this: we are nurturers and we are protectors by nature. Period. Right. So if you're hurting and it's something that we need to, my ultimate goal is to figure out how you not hurt no more.
Absolutely.
For a man, is where you went wrong because you didn't listen to me.
That's what you said?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Had you listened to me, we wouldn't be where we are. That's what you're trying to do? Okay. I'm on Google. I'm calling people. I'm trying to find somebody else. The helpmate. Other than trying to tell me where I went wrong, let's fix it. And that's y'all. Because in y'all's mind, y'all playing father too.
Well, I think we're born
No. Because remember, you here now, you're not there. So what I'm saying is, y'all are our fathers, just like we're your mother.
Nah, because I don't want to be with my mom.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, just like you're trying to protect me, had you listened to me, or had we did it the way we planned it, we wouldn't be here. That's a father statement. It's no different than baby.
Because you're head of the household. You're the ultimate decision maker on.
But for some reason, coming from us, y'all feel like we're trying to control the situation. We're trying to be your mama, and that's not the truth.
So this is my input on that. I am one. When it comes to me, it's not necessarily what you say, it's how you say it. Mm-hmm. So if I come to a man demanding, I expect him to be a little offended because I'm coming to him aggressive.
Right.
I'm sorry, men don't like
that
no
loud talking
aggressive woman. They
Nope.
don't like it.
Not like
No,
that at all.
they don't. Unfortunately,
No.
so I have to come to my dude in a different way, especially if I know he's an alpha dude. If he's
can't
an
do that.
alpha man,
gonna get
I
into
can't
that too.
come to
Yeah.
him with that whole I told you and you
da-da-da-da,
better
and
and
you
what's
better, blah, blah, blah.
that whole snapping them fingers and popping necks and all that.
See, that
I
makes-
know
See,
an alpha
and I don't
man gonna
understand
handle
that because they checked out. Men check out when you come to them at that way.
I was just about to say.
So whatever advice or whatever path we were gonna go down to fix it, and the rolling the eyes and the clicking the nails and all this sort of stuff, like I have a friend who treats her husband like that, and it's like, how do y'all come? You know, when do you become the woman? Where's the softer side of y'all relationship?
Exactly.
Because if both of y'all
Yeah.
are alphas, now don't get me wrong, I consider myself an alpha too, but I know when to shut up too.
But here's the deal: if you're with a man who's a man, we don't mind falling
Right.
back. We don't
Right. At
mind
all.
being submissive when
Ooh,
they're
this word.
taking care of business. But if we feel like you're acting like a little boy, then
I'm
our
offended.
reaction is treating you like a little boy.
And a submissive
But-
word is not a bad thing, because being submissive does not mean I'm supposed to start barking like a dog because you told me to. Being submissive,
Coming to America.
right? Being
It's just like-
submissive is understanding that this is you and this is me, and I need to let you be that man of the house and handle the situation that needs to be handled. Now, if I don't agree with it, we're gonna handle it the way you want to in front of everybody.
And I think
Now, when we
that's-
get home, I'll say, baby, you know what? I didn't really agree with it that way, but I mean, it's done now.
you make the
If
mistake.
it even needs to be talked about.
You do it your way, and if it's a mistake, then we'll try
We'll
it
try.
my way.
Go ahead, Casey.
But for me, I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be regardless of how he acts. If he gonna act like a grown man, he gonna act like a grown man. If he gonna act like a little boy, he gonna act like a little boy. But Tiffany's still gonna be a woman. Because that's what I am. That's what I'm conditioned to be.
Yeah, because I don't understand taking
gonna,
over.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bring you down to a little boy just because you acting like one.
Or I'm not going to
stand
step in and take over what a man is supposed to take over. Because what I was told was is to allow where a man is lacking, you need to pick it up. I grew up around strong alpha males. They handled their household. They took care of they were providers and protectors. Period. I don't know nothing else. So for me to have to transition into another role, it's hard for me. And I'm that 2-year-old throwing a temper tantrum.
So, Casey, answer this. So, I want y'all to distinguish. We're going to start with you, and then we're going to move around the room. I need you to distinguish, for our listeners, what is, in a woman's mind, distinguish a husband from a boyfriend.
A boyfriend don't get husband privileges. I'm not picking
Well,
up.
so many of y'all give them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Tiffany America ain't giving no boyfriend, no husband privileges. I'm not going to the dry cleaners and picking up your dry cleaning. Now, if we're transitioning into something, engagement, marriage, let's do it. But we in this 4 months, I barely know you in 4 months. So I'm not coming over and washing your underwear as no boyfriend. I'm not coming over there and always looking meals, and some women may agree with me. I'm just saying this is where the lines get crossed and blurred, for that matter.
And they don't have nothing to
we
look
start
forward to.
giving up, yes, we start giving them so many privileges. Why would they want to marry us
That's
if
right.
we already giving you wifey privileges? Sometimes you got to pull that stuff back. Sometimes you might have to play a little bit hard to get, just so they can see your value. Now, if they don't want to see it, keep it moving. But if you want to see it, you'll see it, and you look at a woman, and you look at me, since you asked me the question, you look at me and say, okay, Tiffany is worth me doing what I need to do with. So let me go on and do what I need to do to make sure I get her in this
So she
situation,
can get my dry
so
cleaning.
we can do this. And because understand,
Speaking the code.
because if you're gonna take me to that place, I got you.
Right. I got you.
When I'm yours and you're mine, and we done made that vow,
I
it
got
ain't
you.
nothing I'm do for mine.
That's right.
Okay, so for me, I was that person. I was that woman. Dealing with the same person over 10 years, I was automatically, okay, let me do this, let me do that. Okay, we gotta go pick this up, gotta pick that, we gotta cook by this time. I was that giving person. I was giving that boyfriend, husband, privileges. But it comes to a point where I had to step back and unlearn to relearn. And it's definitely dealing with, I don't know, you guys are into spirituality, but a lot of shadow work. It's painful when you take a step back and realize how much you've actually given without receiving.
It's hurtful.
It really is hurtful. And it gets to a point to where, okay, wait, what am I doing this for? Who am I doing it for? Because the person that you want me to meet these standards for, you're not displaying that you're that person.
That's right.
Your character is in something totally different than what you're showing me. So now it's like, okay, well, why am I here? Why am I in this situation? What am I actually gaining from it? So now I'll come to the place where the next one, there's not going to be no comparison, but I'm definitely going to know what to do the next time around.
There you go.
So I'm in that space, and I can only speak from where I am right now and what I've come out of, and just being an encouragement, because you can get stuck in that place and really lose yourself,
and not even realize
and not realizing it until someone's like, "Hey, girl, do you see yourself?" No, I don't see myself. I'm glad you pointed that out. Let me take a step back and really see if this is something that I want to continue to push through to get to the other side, or are you willing to just let it all die down to regain yourself, to regain your focus, and be better in the relationship? Because you got to be better for yourself first before you can be better for anybody else.
Absolutely.
So that's where I am right now with the but yeah, it's painful giving 100% and being knocked down.
And then coming out of it and not knowing who that person is.
Exactly.
Because now you're coming out of a situation where you've been this person for so long that it's memory. So when you come out of it, you feel as if that's who you are. And I use this all the time. When I got a divorce, I had to learn who Lisa Edwards was. Because when I got married, I was 19. I went from being Edwards to Speed. So I grew up as a Speed, I feel like. So when I came out of being a Speed, I had to go back to Lisa Edwards, and I was like, the scariest thing in the world. Like, I don't even know who she is. What does she like to eat? What does she like to do? You know, what type of style does she have? How does she like to wear her hair? You know, how does she speak? I had to learn all that over again. And I had to teach myself that it's okay to revamp yourself.
And I think it's on the other side too. Like with my situation, I feel like I've done it on my own for so long. It is quite actually painful to be something different, or to take a step back and to realize there is a man who wants to take some of that responsibility, who wants to help change your life or your situation. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, how to love me properly, because I've been hurt so much in my past that it would take over my future, even being by myself, not even in a relationship. You know what I mean? And so, like you said, you have to. I know I would have to learn how to be in a relationship.
I had to learn to love myself. I didn't love me because I didn't know who he was, and I didn't know if I was worth loving.
I love myself so much. I just don't.
Well,
know
because
I
had to love 4 other people. There was no room to love me. I had to love 3 kids.
So we got a couple comments. Beautiful. How are you doing, Em? Thank you for joining us. She said she just moved the entire bedroom last night. And yes, I do need a man. Exclamation mark. I can hold my own, but there are just some things that a man should do and not me. CB says we need a lady, not a probation officer. Also says sometimes a female gets in her own way and will push a good man away with all her pride and arrogance. I think you just spoke to that. So let me ask you this. Because, you know, I know some of y'all probably watch the men's show, of course. So, I got a quickie or a quickie that I'm gonna throw at you real quick. What's more important, romance or intimacy?
Intimacy.
Intimacy.
Why is it?
Because intimacy is from the heart, and it's not any romance is set up. Intimacy is
Organic.
Yes, I mean the word it is, and it is the most beautiful thing in the world. When you're intimate with somebody, you can never you can't take that away. Those roses die, the candles die, the tablecloths go away, the food digest, but that intimate moment, it's always there.
And intimacy isn't even in the bedroom, and we've had
No,
this conversation
yeah.
before. Intimacy to me is young man knowing what your favorite bag of chips are and your favorite candy, so unexpectedly he shows up with it. That's intimacy to me. Him sending you a text and it's a paragraph of who you are to him is intimacy. And I think the lines are so blurred when it comes to
intimacy.
Sex
It's not sexual.
and intimacy.
So
Somebody
totally
buying you
different.
all those journals.
Yes, that's intimate.
Y'all was saying earlier.
Sure.
Right.
That's intimate,
It's
and you
very-
don't forget that. Like you
it's-
driving down the street, like looking in my car.
Girl, exactly.
Right.
Because I didn't have, look, I didn't had a couple of flashbacks
Right.
from some like, oh,
Right.
wait a minute.
Yeah, and be
Yes,
conversation.
sir.
You're like,
Wow.
What's that movie? Was like the
Yeah.
forehead kiss.
yes.
But that's almost erotic.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
not
I'm
for
like
everybody
Batman.
though.
Yeah.
I have been
for
kissed on my
everybody.
forehead maybe 2 times in my life.
That forehead is
I
very
mean-
intimate to me.
That you kissing my third eye, so you have to understand when you giving that forehead kiss, you're opening up a whole nother
nother-
dimension.
yes.
That's
That's a whole
you
That,
vibrate on a whole
that
different
forehead
level.
kiss is it's so simple, it's sweet, and it's innocent.
Yeah.
It's like you're not looking for anything after that. It's
Right.
just it's like it seals the deal.
And it's almost like, for me, I think about, like, my mind is constantly going. I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. It's just like, my mom, she tries to make me remember things from 15 years ago. And I'm like, my mind don't work like that. I got so many things that I think about on a daily going tomorrow. I tend to throw stuff out of my mind. And so I have so many things in my head, but to have somebody to just hold me and to just kiss me on my cheek or anywhere around this area, it's almost like a release. Like I can just clear my mind.
Yeah, just being
You
present.
just and you don't want nothing after that. It's like you hear from me.
when you can make love to somebody's mind before
Yes,
you make love
Lord.
to their
So you gotta be turned on mentally, not
Yes,
physically.
definitely.
But it's not even making love. When you say
Right.
turned on, that's sexual.
Right.
What I'm saying, what I
Okay.
think what she's saying is, you done touched my soul.
Exactly.
Like you are intimate. You feel what I'm feeling. Like you get this aura about me, and you know that all I need right now is to be held
You
and
know
to be
what I need. When I
right,
even
or
have
just to hold
see
my
you.
hand and just sit there and watch. Just grab my hand and just be like,
And just sit there.
and just sit there and
A
with
lot of
nothing
times words are
on,
not
nothing.
needed.
Words are not needed. Rubbing ain't needed. You can make love to me and not even touch me.
Absolutely.
And
Okay, so you say I can make love to you without touch you, but is it true? Well, let me ask you this, because I asked the men, does size really matter?
No.
my daddy said it's the motion of the ocean, not the
Yes.
size of the wave.
Men-
Baby.
And it's a
I mean,
I'm a firm believer of the connection. I don't have sex with
that
anybody.
chemistry is off the chain.
He got a penis.
I got a vagina.
It's all the same. It all pretty much looks the same, just different. I mean, but when that passion, I mean, generally speaking,
hold on. Go ahead, niggas, because I need you to hold it.
hold it. And jelly.
Lord have mercy.
She said,
Hold on, America. Let me clarify.
clarify.
But what I'm saying in general terms,
You the baby break out the church.
okay. But when that passion is there, when I feel like I'm in your head and you're in my head and we're really passionate making love or not even, I mean, if it's just very connected, you're present. That's much different than let's just go bounce.
It's a
It's
universe.
definitely
I was
different.
just having a conversation earlier.
Come on, go ahead. Come on, Casey, give it to me.
No,
I'm gonna get right back to Nicole, but we need to get
well,
this out,
Bree
man.
got it clear though. No, Bree got it clear.
I'm in
Because you said it's all the same.
What do you mean? I need you to explain what you mean.
Let's be clear. We know
all the way.
Men don't look the same. We all know all women don't look the same. They don't feel the same. Some a little wetter. Some is dry. Some is old. Some is nasty. It is what it is. Some men, some men is ugly.
I wasn't even
some
talking
men
about
got
that.
pretty ones. It is what it is.
Wow. Speak, Nicole.
Okay, listen. I was just having this conversation with someone earlier, and some people are only for a just right now thing, and some people actually yearn and long for the intimacy. There's a difference between having sex and intimacy.
Tell them, Nicole.
There is a difference, and a lot of people don't understand when you are having sex, that is an automatic soul tie, and you can't break that easily. You got to understand that you are automatically transferring energy, so be mindful, for one thing, who you're choosing to have sex with and who you're choosing to be intimate with, because that energy bounces off, and when it don't mesh well, you will feel some type of way afterwards and have you questioning, what I just do? Who was that person?
And I
People
left,
be having
left them
demons.
with my soul.
Left them with your soul. Now you trying to figure out why am I attached, why I'm going back. It's a whole bunch to it. And a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people touch in this X magic, but it's real. Affirmations are powerful during intimacy. I don't know how powerful they're during sex, but during intimacy, affirmations are truly powerful. You got to be careful with these soul ties. It's a difference. It's a big difference.
So, would you say that? So, would you be saying, this is just me paraphrasing, or I'll say disclaimer, reading to what you're saying. So, are you telling me, as women, is it important to you to enjoy the fruits of your labor?
Definitely to enjoy them. Why would I be working for them?
Well, what are your fruits?
Hey, the fruits of my labor.
That's deep.
That is real deep. That'll make you pause.
Why she getting her thoughts there? Casey, what are the fruits of your labor?
I definitely agree with her.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
but what are these fruits? What do you want to enjoy in these fruits that you may not be enjoying?
Say that again.
In a relationship, you say you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. What are these fruits that you want to enjoy? Hold on. Go ahead, Casey.
I have to put down into that. Quite honestly, like I'm with her. Like that's something that you really have to think about.
That's some work. That's some homework. Because I'm thinking my fruit is my time, my energy. You know, my intimate moments with you, my soul ties with you. What am I getting from all this? Because let me tell you, sometimes, a lot of times, and this goes for male and females, unless the communication is like straightforward, I can be more intimate with you or think we're intimate and one person isn't, somebody isn't. So we give our fruits away sometimes undeservingly. And so we did. And so, you know, when you start talking about the labor, it's like I'm putting into you, but you're not putting back into me. So I need you to put back into me. So that's the fruits of my labor. I'm giving you me, which is the fruit, and I need you to put back into me. And I need you to be there for me when I need you to be there for me, and not the way you think I need you to be there for me, but how I need you to be there for me.
It's just like a cup. You know, you pouring out,
and it's overflowing.
Fill me back up a little bit.
Okay. So with that being said, how do I phrase this? Okay. So as women, because you know, if you just tuned in, we're talking about the mind of a woman. So, mind of a woman. Do women like cockiness or confidence?
Confidence.
Now explain that.
A cocky man is insecure to me. He got something to prove. He walks in the room. He's the last one. He got to tell you who he is, what he doing, how much money he made, where he live, how big his car is, especially a short one. Them short ones.
The short man.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying no.
Charles, get ready.
But no, I'm talking about a little shorter than Charles.
When she said short, I went somewhere.
I was somewhere else. I thought she was talking about
short. I
short.
mean, like real short. Cause I've seen really short men that drive the biggest trucks.
Short man syndrome.
Yeah, they got short man syndrome. But to me, I definitely say confidence. It's a swag with confidence.
Yes,
It's
baby.
integrity that comes with that confidence. It's that presence that shows up. It's that man that walk into a room and ain't got to say a word,
Not
and
a
every
word.
woman gonna notice him.
Who
But
is
that cocky one who got to come in and it got to be seen, I'm gone with that.
Like a pimp.
So this is where I'm going with it. Now, you just said the confident brother. Now, why does it seem like the confident brother normally scares the natural woman? Because this comment you hear, ooh, you scare me. Or, ooh, you just too much. Or, ooh.
Because it's a scarce commodity.
It's a what?
It's scarce. It's not a lot of men out
That
there
are confident.
It's
who can
almost
be
like
confident.
too good to be truth type. It's very rare.
So why you sitting around waiting for the ball to drop? If the brother is good and he's show, if my actions match my words, then why can't it just be that? Why is it you constantly walking around in the back of your mind, girl, I'm just waiting.
Everybody does
just
that though.
waiting.
I mean, it's almost like you just trying to learn. It's hard to come into something new without having a little bit of the past in the back of your mind. It's just like men tend to feel like a woman is generally after his money or his car. You know, a lot of men try to impress women with all this, I'm gonna wine and dine her and all this stuff because that's what they're probably used to when they're dating. So just like with women, a lot of times, more times than not, being single, we're single for a reason because we've been used to so many of those men that missed the bar on that.
So how many good men y'all done walk away from and then after the fact you felt like, ooh, made a mistake?
I walked away from one, gathered myself real quick, and went back. And yeah, I didn't let that go bad. I didn't let that go bad fast. I said, oh, wait a minute, I didn't think that through. I might need to go check him out one more time. But it was the only one.
Mine was one.
I would say probably two for me.
Just one. Okay. All right, so you just tuned in. We're talking about the mind of a woman. We're just asking some perspective questions on what they think, or what they be, in the room talking about. Girl, he this, he that. Why he don't do? Okay, well, tell us what you're talking about. So, with that being said, let me ask you this: do you think a man is honest about his finances?
No.
Why?
Because he's scared that
You gonna take
yeah. Either if he makes a lot of money, he's afraid that she's gonna want to dip into his money. If he doesn't make enough or he makes little, he's gonna feel judged because he can't fulfill this idea of what a man's supposed to be as a provider. So I think it's just a tough conversation because it happens. That's the way we were programmed. Women were programmed to go after a man who can provide, and men were programmed to make sure he has what he needs before he pursues a woman. So.
And for me, finances aren't a big deal for me. And let me tell you why. Because we can make apple pie, we can make a streusel, we can do all kinds of things. It's the go get for me. It's the let's sit down, this is what we got and this is what we're gonna do and this is what we need to get it done. So money has never been a factor for me because I grew up with money, and to me money is the root of all evil. It does not gel a relationship together, but it will break one. And it's not the money, I think, that really breaks a relationship. It's the communication, and it's the not sacrificing. Because if I really love you and you are the person that I'm supposed to be with, we can make it happen.
Sure.
We can make it happen. So money has never been that for me. My deal breaker is not being consistent, changing for me. Be who you are when I first meet you. Don't transfer or transform into something that I don't know, and then I gotta readjust who I am to fit your personality. That's the deal breaker for me. So money, no.
Yeah,
it's not a deal breaker.
It's not important for me. Because I need a partner.
Yes.
So we can be a partner in the shack, or we can be a partner in
Yes,
the mansion,
Lord.
as long as we partners.
And the shacks are sometimes
We're gonna
better.
grow together.
Right.
We're gonna flow together. If we low together. If
That's
we
right.
high, we high together. And I think that's a lot of disconnection in relationships, is because a lot of men and women are seeing each other's significant other as enemies. There's competition going on.
Yes.
If she do
A lot
it,
of
then he got to
jealousy.
do it. If he do it, then she got to do it. If you have a partner mentality where we going into this and we in this together, your money is my money is your money. We gonna make this house
You
flow
grow, we
efficiently.
grow.
We exactly.
And
We
stop
were
trying to
doing it
compete
together.
with everybody else
Yes.
who's watching and judging your
Absolutely.
relationship. Who really cares what they think?
Because that's normally what breaks it up.
Yeah, even with our parents, sometimes we allow our parents and their way of teaching us, or trying to influence what we see, what we like, But you gotta get that out of your head. Like, really tap into who you are, what you want, and put that out there so it gives the other person a chance to decide if they want to move forward with you. You know what I mean?
And don't throw it back up in their face, because
Absolutely.
that's the big
That's the
thing.
deal breaker for
Don't
me.
just because we can't do something, don't throw up in my face that if you did this, or if you made this money. I'm a true believer. If a person shows you who they are and that's who you've been rocking with, and you marry them, then rock with them. Don't throw it back up in their face once you get married. That's the worst thing you can do to a man, is to break him down and make him feel less of a provider and a protector. You never do that.
And being overly critical of yourself too.
Yeah.
In my experience, I've had men who try too hard, and it's like, when did I ever tell you that you had to be all this or do all this? I don't know where that came from, because of what somebody else expected of you. I'm not her.
Right.
So.
But do y'all put expectations on us?
We do.
Everybody
has
But
expectations.
should you have expectations? in your
Yes.
relationship?
Absolutely.
Expectations or standards? There's a difference.
I say standards.
Standards,
And I say
then.
standards because and like I said before, you can have hidden expectations. The next thing you know, you're waiting on him or her to reach it, and they never reach
do.
it. So you've already doomed your relationship. You've already set it up for failure because you think this is what he should be doing. This is what she should be doing, and that's not the case. I think
But a lot of people make standards material things too, and I think that's where they fail.
I think we have should have a healthy level of expectations. Like, if you present yourself this way, I expect you to at least be that same person,
I
or grow to be better.
You're right.
Yeah,
Yes.
in that case, sure.
So with that being said, we're going to take a break and we'll get right back to it. But I'm going to ask you this question as we go to break, but I want you to answer. You said should have healthy expectations. So let me ask you, as women, when you're out on a date, what is the most important question?
What's your relationship with God?
Yep.
And what's your relationship with other women in your life, like your mom, your sisters, if you have that?
How are you with your children? Because you can't be no
deadbeat
you
dad.
ain't fathering yours. You can't
come follow mine.
Right.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Look, and it's health. What's your health like? What's your wealth like? Is your credit 200? Because we can't go do nothing.
But you asking all these questions, I don't know if you forever.
And I understand that. But okay, but you did. You said on the first date. So on the first date, I understand it. I get it. I shouldn't be going into health and wealth. But I do, if I'm gonna think you a potential contender, I'm gonna ask about your relationship with God. I definitely gonna do that.
So so let me ask this, because that word, those P words are always being thrown around. Potential and possibility. I'm gonna tell you, for me, potential, possibility, and didn't ever get my heart broke. So my thing is, I feel like you should put your cards out on the table. Leave me with a choice. So with me saying that, do y'all feel like men take your choice away?
Yes.
Why?
Because they're afraid of no.
In what way do we take your choice away?
So do you come and tell me you're a deadbeat dad when I done told you that I have 3 kids and their dad don't do this, their dad don't do that? Okay, are you gonna tell me you do the same? No, you're not. You're gonna juice up your fatherhood. If I tell you that the person that was with me was abusive verbally, you know, or abusive, are you gonna tell me that you like to beat women for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? No, you're not. So it goes back to what Tiffany said: is don't tell them what you're looking for. Let them figure you out. So I think the conversation and the questions don't need to be had so early on, because people can give you false information, and they can keep their representative on for too long.
I think I agree with that. I think you should just start with being in the moment. Do you mesh well with this person? If you're at a restaurant, how are they with the waitresses?
Yes.
Are they on edge and being mean and all that stuff?
They allow you to order first. You know, they ask you what you like to eat.
Right. Do that.
All that shows your personality.
So let me ask you this: do y'all like to be pursued or chased?
I like both.
Yeah, right.
Both? How you have both?
I mean, because a chase is always good for everybody. I mean, I don't want you all up in my face sometimes, and I don't want you all up in my face. I want to be inquisitive about what you're doing or where you're going.
But do you feel like you're asking too much to have both?
I mean, it should be automatic, I would think. I don't know.
Kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah. Like, I want to feel desired. I want to feel like that I'm worth chasing.
But pursuing you and chasing you doesn't mean that that doesn't distinguish that I don't desire you. If I'm giving you my attention and my time, I'm showing you I desire you, right? I'm showing you that, hey, you know, I think you may be worth something.
Maybe.
Let me ask you this,
but
and I'm not in no way comparing anybody to God, but don't we chase after God daily?
Yes.
True.
So why?
Let me say we're supposed to.
We're supposed to. So in my mind is pursuing. Once you pursue somebody, you get that. Then what?
I need you to
continue to chase them. You continue to date.
Because if not, I feel like you take them for granted. If I sit here and know you're gonna be here in the morning, if I sit here and think that you're gonna call me every day at 7 o'clock, I know that you're pursuing me. But what if you don't call? I need to chase you now. I need to figure out where you at.
So just like Captain say, it's a game.
Yeah.
Man, all right, look, we're gonna take a small break. Oh, you playing the song.
Who was that saying? Pull back a
and we're gonna get right back to it, man. Look, on the other side of this, I got a question. I believe since I have nothing but ladies in here, this is the best time to ask this question. Let's talk about side chicks on the other side of this.
I'm standing here looking in the mirror, saying damn to myself, I should have known the day would come that she would find somebody else. And all the things I took her through, shit, I shouldn't have lasted this long. Now I'm at this telephone booth, calling Tyrone. When a woman's head up, no matter how you beg, no, it ain't nothing you can do about it. It's like running out of love. No matter what you say, no, then it's too late to talk about it. Now let's talk about how it all goes down. I used to make love to you daily when the night felt the same. And anytime that you were hurt, I could feel your pain. And if I had $1, it was yours, yeah. And whenever we would go out, I would front the bill. But now the up is down and the silence is out. I hurt you too many times. Now I can't come around. Cause when a woman's fed up, it ain't nothing you can do about it. Oh no, it's just like running out of love. And then it's too late to talk about it. Oh yeah, listen. If you don't wanna find
it fat, just relax, front your own flat screen. Back rub, cook clean, and don't make her make a scene. When you call on her cellular, she tell you she don't need not a goddamn, you a hot thing. If you think you finna get her with a goddamn, you insane, boy, you better get some goddamn. She a fool in the school, even walked across stage. And she say, I love women from his look to his ways. The stilettos, the J's, depending on how the weather look. Flip-flop slippers with the sharp pedicure. Flip-flop, depending on how the cheddar look. She'll buy her own, don't think she'll never look. And a man face standing waiting for him to take care of her. She'd rather go to work and pay the bills on schedule. I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that mean, man? I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that mean?
Kids to bed. And that reason is it's time for a full 180.
My music small radio. Well, y'all can hear the conversation that be going on behind break. DJ Lids on the ones and twos. Shout out to DJ Lids. Yada. I got it. Jesus. All right. Whatever. Look. KC, I'm coming. Look, I've already made plans. I'm coming. I'm on my way. Look, man. All right. So, let's see. Beautiful says, "Are you married or just want some for me? Are you a man that sees more than one woman?" Okay.
I was going to touch on that earlier. I was going to say something about that when you said about a husband versus boyfriend. A husband knows he's a husband.
Oh.
A man knows he's a husband. There's some men that don't want men, but a real man knows what he sees and go gets it, and he knows what he knows what he was created to do.
And he don't want
And
nobody
to
to
be,
eat
or
it, so
should I
he
say.
likes it there.
So how many of y'all guilty of not picking real men?
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
wow.
For sure. I wanted to add something because we had this conversation last week about the husband and the marriage and everything. Fun fact, the whole reason that marriage went into law was because the woman was seen as a piece of property. You know, I'm a researcher. So I just had to say, because my thing is, does every woman want to be married? Like, I think there's a unwritten rule that some men or some guys, I don't know what you call it, are afraid to get into certain relationships because they automatically think, and if he doesn't know he wants to be a husband, it's like, well, she's just looking for a husband. Like, every woman doesn't want a husband like that. Every woman doesn't want, they're not seeking always to put shackles on you and lock you down and all that other stuff.
So, glad you said it. Open-ended question to each one of y'all. And since you're talking, we'll start with you. What do you want to let women know? What do you want to let men know about women?
Just worry about being in the moment. I mean, we both need to give each other the benefit of the doubt and just build a friendship. Like, if nothing else, if you really, obviously, if you're asking somebody on a date and you're agreeing to go with somebody on a date, you've agreed to give that person a piece of your time, a piece of your space, an opening into your world. So be in the moment and then figure out, okay, is this someone that you want to give more time to give more of your world to? And then at that point, you decide, okay, how to pursue that. Not automatically think, oh, this is what a woman wants, and this is what a woman is, and this is what a man wants, and this is what a man is. Because everybody is an individual. We're different.
Speak, Nicole.
So my thing is just the process, and that's anything. I definitely believe in going with the flow, and I also believe in not setting myself up for failure. So I'm not going to expect no more of you than what you're going to expect of me. I believe in 50-50, and we're going to meet halfway. We'll meet halfway. But with that being said, you definitely, I think it's very important for you to be grounded in who you are first, before you even think about being intertwined or taking it to the next level with the individual, whether that's dating, friends going into dating, and dating going into an established relationship. Because a lot of men, and I asked a gentleman this question earlier today, do you just want a right now thing, or are you looking for long term? That goes back to your question on the first date. Let me know before I waste any of my time.
Please. America, please. I said it. Please.
Before going forward, I need to understand, are you going to be devoted to giving your 50% or your all? And that'll let me know which direction I need to take moving forward.
Because y'all want the 80-20 rule.
Don't.
KC?
Men, we can handle the truth.
More than
And
you know.
And I say that because I think some men get caught up in how we react after we hear the truth. We're women, we're sensitive, we're going to be emotional. Our feelings may be hurt. We may cry, but understand that we want the truth. Because at least we're not out here looking crazy, feeling dumb, and all of that other stuff. Please, men, tell us the truth. And I'm not saying ignore it, but don't get caught up in the reaction of what the truth was brought to. Just let it be what it's going to be and understand we're okay with the truth.
For me, it's truthfulness. Just be truthful and be who you are and allow the process to happen so I can make my choice. If I make my choice off your lies, if I make your choice off your representative, and once I find out, then I'm hurt, I'm resentful, and I'm pissed, and I feel like you took my choice away. And it's not about who you are, it's about who you portrayed who you are for me. So I think the questions need to be asked. If I've learned anything through this process of being in relationships since I've been divorced and being married again, is that we have the right to ask questions. And we shouldn't be afraid to ask questions, because sometimes we've been programmed that if we ask certain questions, it's going to push that man away. They don't think we automatically looking to be in a relationship or be your girlfriend. And then we also have to understand, women, that going out on the first date does not mean you're in a relationship. Let's get that established too. Because some women automatically feel that first date, I got a man. No, that's not true.
It's not true.
So we have to be mindful also in our process of dating, and we have to not be afraid to ask this man the questions that we need to know to move forward to be that Proverb 31 woman. So, because it's all in us. And I think it's all in men to be married too, but men do not have examples of being husbands. They only know about being a boyfriend or how many women they can get. They never are taught, if we go back to generational curses again, they're not taught to be a husband. They're not taught to be any of that stuff anymore because the males are absent outside of the household. So we need to be mindful about communication.
So with that being said, great segue. You said men are not taught to be husbands. So, with that being, because I said I'm playing devil's advocate all day, let's talk about the side chick. My first question is, has anybody here been a side chick?
I have.
Knowingly or unknowingly?
Both.
I've unknowingly been the side chick.
Yes.
So, I like background. Let's put definition on the side chick. What is definition on the side chick? Go ahead, Casey.
Everyone, if you are a side dude or a side chick, your date is not February 14th, it's February the 15th.
Or the 13th.
It's not December 25th, it's December 27th.
No,
You will never,
That'll finish.
You will never get the actual holiday. It's rules to the game of being a side chick and a side dude. Period. If you know you're walking into this relationship with this male or this female and he is married, ma'am and sir, you are a side dude, you are a side chick. You have to wait your turn. Men, if you're going to cheat on your wives, go get somebody that got as much to lose as you. So you don't be John Grade out here. Men, women, go choose a man that got as much to lose as you, so he don't be hiding in the bushes, popping out on your husband, waiting on him to pull up in the car so he can tell all your business. Please understand, if that's what you choose to be, there are rules to the game. Govern yourselves accordingly.
And let the church say, amen.
I can't stand y'all right now. So, you said rules. Let's talk about these rules. What's the rule for being the side dude or the side chick?
You have to know when to call. Just because I don't answer does not mean you blow my phone up. Don't send me them on detrimental text messages. I know you with her. Why you ignoring me? Blah, blah, blah. And I only say that. That was my first time being a side chick. I didn't understand the game. I was mad. Because it's Christmas and you gonna text me Merry Christmas.
What's the song?
Lisa,
you got them for the weekend.
But I didn't know that at first. So with that being said, if I had to be a side chick again, the rules are different, baby. I'm gonna play that role. So when I don't answer you, understand that I'm the side chick. I don't have to answer you right back. So there's rules to being the side chick or the side dude.
So what are you getting out of being the side dude or the
Everything
side chick?
Except for the responsibility.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We like that just like y'all.
Like what?
Don't want the responsibilities of the attachment. The drama, the commitment.
What? That's the main thing women talk about. I want to commit it.
Some women.
What did I just say? Every woman
It's
Hey,
not gonna be.
hey, I ain't playing devil's advocate. I told you today.
I'll kick the devil.
That's what they say in church. Kick them. But I just never understood why. If you, what are you getting at it? What motivates you to be okay with being a side person to somebody got a whole relationship?
Well, let me say this. When I was a side chick, I didn't go into it knowing it at the time. But I did find out he had someone. And we had been, at this point, going on probably about a year. And I didn't even know. But I was the side chick and didn't know. Somewhere off in that year, I became the side chick. And at this point, I felt like I was invested. I wasn't going nowhere. It was sick comical for me. I mean, I can't speak for nobody else. But, you know, my definition changed. Now, I had a choice to stay and I had a choice to leave once I found out. That, you know, my grandma always said, once you find out the truth, when you go looking for it, what you going to do with it? Well, when I found out the truth, I stayed.
Thank you for being honest.
It's almost like having a sugar daddy.
Yes.
Benefits.
Because my gift was real good on the 26th. Once I
He
realized.
probably got a discount too.
Yes.
So let's flip the script. Let's flip the script. Let's go from being the side chick to now you the wife, and you dealing with somebody that got side chicks
I don't want to talk about
or the
that.
side dude.
Okay, so I've never
in
been. Oh well, that I know of, a wife who with a man who had a side chick, but I've been in a long-term relationship where we lived together, and then I found out that, you know, there was the going back to the baby mama, and when the baby mama wasn't trying to hear it anymore, and there was some other random chick. But, you know, being young at the time, I'm in my, you know, mid-20s with young children, I just was glad somebody was there to help me with my children, to help pay my bills and help, you know, just be there for the things that I needed a man to be there for. And I think that's where I got this idea of, I guess I kind of went to the whole total other end of the spectrum of the independence part, because it was like I dealt with this stuff because I needed him, and I just was like, I was just accepting it, you know, and that's not something that, there's no future in that.
Well,
make up your mind.
I'm not gonna plead the fifth. I'm sorry. Without saying any names.
Please don't.
28 years, 28 side pieces. So I will say this. I had 4 children. My main goal was to get my kids up and gone. It wasn't about me. I got checked for HIV regularly, chlamydia, gonorrhea, trick, whatever you want to call it. And I moved on. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't about me. It was about my children being raised. But I will say this. I don't know if it's respecting it. I don't even know if you use the word respect. They were very disrespectful. And I don't know what type of pillow talk they was having, but they weren't conducting themselves as side chicks. So
acting accordingly.
They was not governing themselves accordingly. They were calling the house, coming to the house, popping up at the job. I mean, they was doing all kinds of things. So I don't know what he was laying down telling them prior to that 20-second sex session they was having. But,
shots fired.
Fired. I'm going to leave you alone.
I mean, but I wasn't.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll go ahead.
You asked.
That's right.
So, for me, knowing that my husband at the time had side chicks, I mean, it didn't, at some point you get numb for it. So I started making jokes about it in order to cover up my hurt, my pain, and my embarrassment. So it was a joking session for me. I felt like it was my fault at sometimes because I wasn't as sexual then. I was raised to be that Proverbs 31 woman. And that's what I thought I needed to do to keep my husband. But I don't think at this point in time, now that I know who I am, I don't think anything that I did could have stopped him from being who he was, because he was fighting a demon too. And he eventually apologized. All jokes aside, we got married young, responsibilities was heavy. I didn't know how to be a sexual partner, and I'm not making excuses for him. It turned out sex addiction played a lot of roles in all that. So it just got to the point to where I came numb to it. So when one approached me, it just got to the point I was like, okay, I mean, what you coming to me for? I'm not going nowhere. I got 12 more years to go. So,
so with that being said, you stayed in it. When does it come to a point where you just like, I'm done?
I never got a chance to get to that point because he called it off first. So I can't answer that for you. I don't know if I ever would have, because I was so comfortable with my life. I had everything. I had the choice of cars I wanted to drive. I had the 5,000 square feet home. I had the perfect husband on the outside looking in, the perfect children. I had a business. I could do what I wanted to. If I wanted to work, I didn't have to. I mean, I don't know if I would have ever got to that point, Greg, and that's the crazy part. I asked myself that if he hadn't have said what he said, would I still be there? And would I still be going through the same things? But I'm glad that I did, because I evolved into a totally different woman. And I think I grew up finally. Instead of growing into my marriage, I grew out of my marriage too. And I grew up to be a woman that I'm proud to say I did a full 180.
Cool.
And I think you have to be honest with yourself to get to a point of saying you're done. Mm-hmm. You have to say where's it going? When did the disconnection stop? Like I'm emotional when it comes to my relationship. So if you can still make me cry, then you still got me. But if I'm not crying anymore, be careful. Yeah. Because when I stop crying, I have completely checked out.
And I stop crying.
Yeah, so you have to be honest with yourself, both males and females, and look at the big picture. Where is it going? Where has it been going? What brought it to this point? Once you're there, you can make a conscious decision. It won't be irrational. It'll be a rational. It won't be an irrational decision that you make. It's a rational one when you've checked out of your feelings, because we know with feelings they change all the time. You can be happy one day, see a dog get hit, and all of a sudden you down. Yeah. So your feelings change, but when you make a conscious decision to think about it, to see what it is for what it really, really is, not for the money that it brings or she brings to the table, just seeing it for what it is, I think you'll be able to say, you know what, I done wasted time. I done wasted this time. We out.
And I'm going to say this. My truth, I could have left the second woman, the third woman. I did not want to become a statistic, and I didn't want my children to become one. So that's my truth.
Absolutely. I understand it.
Mr. Cole?
Well, I can't speak on that, particular situation, but what I can touch on is mentally being checked out of a situation.
Okay.
And my backstory. You know how many times I left, went back. I done went through that whole thing, but it comes a time when you gotta realize when the season is up. There's a reason why they say season, a reason in a lifetime, and some people just don't fit where you are about to go. And I had to come in to realize who I was and who I am in the midst of that chaos. I had to learn how to elevate and heal myself during the process. Because a lot of people say, oh, she just got out there relationship, she was together so long, she bitter. No, I'm better. Not bitter at all. I'm better and I'm growing, not only as a woman, but as a mother. I have 2 kids to look after, and if I'm not right whole, if I'm not right mentally, if I'm not right within myself, my children are not going to be good. And my children are 11 and my daughter be 1 on Saturday. So I'm looking at things in a total different perspective. Do I want to stay in this because I want to be happy and keep this picture that may look good on the outside? Or am I going to be real with myself and say, hey, you do you, I'm going to do me. We're going to co-parent. And we're going to work that thing on out that way. But definitely, it comes a time where you just realize that you just have to walk away. I'd rather walk away and live than stay in something that dies slowly.
So what you mean say, I mean, I'm gonna go Dr. B, but when you said that, do you hold those things that happened in your previous situations when you start to move on, or you say, let's say you find someone else, and they're showing up and showing out? Are you still holding them to the pain that you went through a long time ago with somebody else, or this is a new chapter?
No, a new chapter. They don't deserve that pain. And I don't feel like that will be fair to the next individual, because I can be blocking my blessing by doing that. And that'll push that person away. And I've experienced that since removing myself from my previous situation. I've experienced that you don't want to never compare the new person to the old one, because there's a reason why it's a new person.
Absolutely. But it's something that you had touched on earlier, saying I'm not necessarily going to treat the old like the new, but I have learned from my old.
Exactly.
So there's certain things, and I'm going to see
yeah.
there's certain things
The
about
red
me that
flags.
like, I'm not going to deal with that no more,
Yes, ma'am.
because I've already know what that brought to my life. It brought pain, it brought agony, it brought anxiety, it brought health issues, it brought a lot of things. So it's not sometimes so much that you're trying to compare the two. You just know what you're not going to deal with
That's
anymore.
true.
And so it's not a comparison. It's just you've learned from you've learned what standards mean the most to you. You know, because I had money, I had all that stuff, and I wasn't happy. So for me, it's commitment. It's being into me and loving me, and looking at me like I'm the only woman on the universe, and knowing when you come home, you know, you're coming home because you want to come home and not because you feel like you have to. So we do compare. We do compare our past to our future indirectly, you know, because we know what we're not going to put up with.
Definitely.
Or what we
See red
want
flags.
that we may have been lacking and we didn't even realize we wanted.
That's true.
To add to the conversation, I think about when the child touches the stove and they burn their hand. Usually they know not to touch that stove again. And that's the same thing with kind of relationships, is that when you got to realize sometimes what the common denominator is. Why do I keep finding myself in this same situation? It's because I'm putting myself in this same situation. Now it's time for me to change me, change up whatever I got going on. But also coming from a person who was, I'm totally different now than what I was then, thank God. But I had a relationship addiction. I felt like I was not a whole person unless somebody wanted me. And I spent a lot of years doing that. My daughter before she came about, I was dating a guy in high school, he was in college. And we were very much into each other. And I think it actually started before that. I lost somebody to a car accident that I really loved. And that started me in a spiral of depression. And so when I started dating this guy that was in college, I thought I was all that. I moved out the house to be with this guy. He moved me into my apartment and disappeared. Went into a spiral of trying different things. Probably would got strung out on drugs. Probably could have got all kind of STDs. I didn't care anymore. And then God said, we got to do something. And I found I was pregnant. And that's what changed my life. But even after that, I just felt like, now I'm a mom. Now nobody really is going to want me. So every time someone showed interest in me, I was sucking it up. I was all for it. So I was addicted to being wanted until I got tired of being rejected. And then I decided, okay, God, I need you to fill all of that void. Take me out of this equation. You fix it all. And then that's when I started to become a whole person, a woman.
So do you think your relationship with God, and I'm only speaking from my divorce, putting Him first and loving Him and being intimate with God, because you know you can be intimate with God. Do you think that saved you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a little shameless plug, that's about what my book is about, my evolution to get to that point. all the things I had to say to myself, all the prayers that I had to pray to God, all the words that He spoke to me, finding messages in different situations. All of that played a part into it, and I realized that had I not done that, I couldn't have forgiven myself. I couldn't have forgiven those who have hurt me. I couldn't forgive. Even sometimes I used to blame my mom, that she sheltered me too much, or she shoved church and Bible down my throat, which she didn't. She was just creating a foundation for me to seek it for myself.
I had to own myself, my own self-destructions. Like we can be our own worst enemy. So I had to own that, and it was real hard through my process to see my faults, because I hid behind Elbert's fault. I hid behind his faults so much that he cheated and he did all that stuff, and so I never looked at what my negative part to the marriage was. So when that mirror came forth, when God made me look at myself, it was something detrimental. Like, dang, I didn't know I was that person. I didn't know I was vindictive. I didn't know I was mean. But that was the way I was channeling my hurt.
So with that being said, two questions, and we're gonna wrap it up. It's a two-part question. We can start anywhere. So, as women, I want to know, or let us know, what is the thing that you hold dear that if a man breaks, it truly hurts?
My soul tie, like my soul. Like when you rob me of my joy, and I give that joy to you, and I give you that intimate part of me, and you know that that's personal for me, and yet you sit there and you take it with no intentions on holding it or loving it or caressing it. I hold that dear. My intimacy is very dear.
My peace is dear to me. Don't interrupt my peace. If you gonna play with me, go on about your business. Because it costs too much. Because I had to fight to get to where I am. I was in a lowly place. So when God restored me, I made a vow to Him that I don't want to interrupt something that He gave me ever again. So if you're not gonna be real, take it on somewhere else.
Miss Nicole?
For me, it'll be my time. Definitely be knowing that I not necessarily wasted time in a previous situation, but knowing that more could have came out of it. So if you're not willing and you're not ready, just move on right on past me.
That would be my loyalty. I'm a very loyal person, and if I feel that that's been taken advantage of, I check out real quick, because I hold myself to a standard when it comes to sharing who I am and sharing my world. If I'm willing to do that and you break that, or you take advantage of that, or you don't appreciate that, then I feel very insulted.
So, I did that for a reason. I want you to open up these books. I didn't get a chance to do it with the men, but we will do it when we do the men part 2. I need you to tell me your first 2. So, just to give you background, and we're about to wrap up. Excuse me. I had the ladies do something in the men, and I apologize to the men because we didn't get to it, but I've had these women and men do something that I need you to do at home. I want you to go. There is a book that's called The 5 Love Languages. Some of us have read it. Some of us have skimmed through it. You might need to read it again. However, there is a test. So what I did was have these ladies take the test so they can see what their love language is. So, ladies, it doesn't matter who goes first. I need your top 2 love languages.
Mine shocked me. I'm like, so my top one was physical touch, but I tend to not like. I thought I didn't like to be touched, and maybe it's just I don't like to be touched by other people that I'm not, close with. Because I know, like when I'm at church, I jet out. I don't hug nobody. That's kind of bad, but it's not. But then I'm thinking about outside of the relationship aspect. Like when I'm at school now with everything that's going on, I kind of feel sad that I can't hug my kids and show them, because I know that a lot of them have issues that they bring, and they're seeking solace with me. They're seeking something, love, attention from me. And so bringing it back to the relationship, I guess that it makes sense that I really do like the physical touch. I mean, I like the
we know what you like.
Physical touch too. But, you know, just to be in here, some of the questions was like holding my hand and hugging me and touching me spontaneously and stuff like that. I like that. My second one was acts of service. That wasn't as surprising because I know that I do a lot, and it feels nice to have someone to do for me, especially without me asking. Yeah.
Miss Nicole?
Well, my top one was quality time.
Okay.
And my number 2 was words of affirmation.
Okay. Casey?
Quality time was number 1, and physical touch was number 2.
El Boogie?
Quality time was number 1, and active services was number 2.
So, my last question will be done. Given that you've done this love language test and you went through it, now you see it, you can either answer or take this home as homework. Ask yourself, now you see what you see, 1, when you pick men, are you picking men according to your love language and how you want to be loved or how they want to be loved? 2, are you really ready to be loved?
I picked according to their love language because I'm a very selfless person, and I always feel like I can fix myself. So I'm more worried about what the other person needs versus me. Am I ready to be loved? I think I still need some. I think I need some time. After everything I've been through, I think I need some time.
Casey?
So I'm going to answer the second part first. I am ready to be loved, and I'm ready to give love. As far as the love language, I am a firm believer that we need to love each other according to how we want to be loved, i.e. this test. So if mine are physical touch and quality time, love me according to that. But if yours is acts of service or words of affirmation, that's what you're going to get from me. Mm-hmm. The mistake that most relationships are in now is people are loving each other according to how they want to be loved, and there's no reciprocation at that point. I can't give you I can't give you anything that you're not going to accept, and vice versa. So if you haven't taken the test, I think it's very good to take, especially if you're a married couple. I advise anybody married to take it because it could change some things around in your relationship.
Miss Nicole?
Well, for me, I'm ready to love myself.
Okay.
In the healthy way. And then later on down the line, we'll work on being loved by somebody else, genuinely and purely being loved. And as far as the love languages go, I guess this time around, I have to agree. I have to agree with Ms. Casey because I didn't know how to love someone according to theirs. So that's going to be a new process for me going forward. And that's just how I'm going to run with it.
Cool beans. Dr. B?
Yeah, so... No, I think it's very important to seek someone, to try to find them in their love language and get to, know their love language because I'm just not a selfish person in that aspect. I will say that I'm always in competition with myself about how, and I think this kind of can affect negatively or positive, but how can I do more? And then being able to accept someone speaking my love language. Mm-hmm. So that's a learning process for me. As far as being loved, of course I want to be loved. But a better question that I'm not going to answer is, am I ready to love someone else?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. The mind of the woman. Look, ladies, I appreciate you. You know I do. And I will say this. when it comes to loving somebody, my definition is when you truly love somebody, it is you being patient while the other one is growing mentally, spiritually, and physically. That's when you know you truly love someone. If you're willing to stand by them, even when they get on your nerves. Better yet, I'll give you a visual. Remember when she put her fork in your plate? If she get slapped, you love her a little bit, bro. Look here, ladies, man. I appreciate you being so open and honest and transparent. This is the open mind of a woman. I hope you learned something. I hope you took something. I hope when we end the show, look, go in that room and say, baby, let me holler at you at 1:30 in the morning. Wake up. Miss Nicole, excuse me, speaks Nicole. It has been a blessing to us. Thank you, ma'am. You more than welcome to always come back on the show. We will have part 2. Like I told the gentlemen, right now, just today we're talking about the mind of a woman. The next show, we're going to talk about the mind of a mother. That might get a little dangerous. But, look at here, man. We appreciate you tuning in. King Yada. Yeah, Legend said, what's up? KC, Baltimore, California. Hey, Miss Beautiful MD, thank you for joining us. C, thank you for joining us. Everybody join us on Facebook, Instagram. What else we on? Twitch. Look, we on all the platforms. Again, more music, more radio right here. Shout out to my main man Malik. Catch him tomorrow from 6 to 8 for the Mike Music Show, man. Hey, this is how we get down. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're having real, practical, perspective conversation. Not necessarily what your truth is, but these individuals are willing to put their own truth and transparently and tell you in their mind, their perspective. And maybe help you get through what you're going through. My boy DJ Legends out here. Look, we have a thing called The Last Word, Miss Nicole. So this is the last word, El Boogie.
I just want to tell everybody thank you for tuning in and making this something truly special, because this helps me like Bible study during the week sometimes. So it's reaching my spiritual and my emotional during the week, and I have a chance to work with some wonderful ladies and some wonderful guys. And Miss Nicole, it has been a pleasure having you on the show. I want to tell you that from the bottom of my heart, you have touched my spirit today. And this week I challenge each individual to own your truth and fix something within yourself that you're scared to fix because you don't want to know the outcome of it. So,
Dr. B.
Oh man, I'm always super excited. Shout out to all my lovely ladies.
Lord
I have to
have
shout
mercy.
out the man next week.
Next week. Wow.
No, but it's all love. My word to leave you with is forgiveness. Forgive yourself, and try to find a way to forgive others, because forgiveness is really not about them. It's about you, and moving on.
I'm none other than our special guest, the lady of the hour. Speak, Nicole.
Yes, so it's your girl, Speak Volumes, Nicole. I first want to say thank you, Rick, for inviting me, and thank you all for having me. The word that I want to leave with you is be patient with yourself and grow forward.
And none other, but definitely not least, KC.
Well, to the queendom, since it's about the ladies today,
Lord.
I just want to, just let all ladies know that we're here for each other. Don't knock each other. Don't put each other down. Let's always uplift each other, because we are treacherous sometimes towards one another. So let's just stay positive with one another. For Kenny and everybody that tuned in, I have gotten so much positive feedback. I have a twin. My twin was like, "Oh my God, I love the show." So when she wakes up in the morning, she's gonna watch it, because we go to bed early. But for everybody, Kenny, for everybody that's tuned in, that she tagged so many people today. So I am so thankful and grateful for those that live in my hometown that they paid attention and they watched. So I'm definitely grateful to you ladies, to our guests, to Greg and Charles and Charlie in the building.
The men.
But you got it.
And Irrational, we miss you.
Right.
We miss you.
Thank you all. Thank you all. It's such a journey, and I just do believe that God is doing bigger and better. I think He's working things out up there for things to come into fruition here. So I just say let's be on our game and be ready for the ride.
Y'all seen the banner? The banner is awesome. Wait till you see it.
Yes, it is.
And I can't leave without talking to Big Bro, Mr. DJ Legend.
Well, I want to thank everybody for listening today. Thank you, Nicole, for coming. You taught me a little bit today. As well as the ladies we always talk about stuff all the time. But, make sure y'all come out to the party.
Yeah.
Friday. It's going to be a little lit. Not too lit, but a little lit. But again, God bless everybody. Good night. Out of here.
As y'all see, that's the Russell Simmons of the show. Yep, we out of here, man. Look, we'll be right back right here. More music, more radio. On Monday, we'll be back with the regular cast, man, getting to a whole nother topic. Once again, make sure you come out and see us, as my brother said, Friday from 9 to 1 right here, 211 North Irvay. More music, more radio studio. We're having the Christmas festivity. COVID-19 guidelines will be in effect, so please bring your mask. Be masked up, but we want you to have a good time. We'll have refreshments, live musics. We want you to get to meet the cast, take pictures. We want you to have a real good time. During the pandemic, man, a lot of us ain't able to get out and do this, but I want to create a safe environment where you can just come and chill. Nothing else, nothing more, no pressure, man. And you know me, I live by two mantras. One, faith and fear cannot dwell in the same place. And as long as you stay on this earth until you see your heavenly Father in the next earth, love, live, laugh. We out here. Let's go see.
Sell my cockiness, lick my persuasion.